Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to be going over the balance manifesto for Legion. So let's see what they got to say. 3.7 includes a huge number of changes to melee balance as well as other gameplay systems. Melee combat. The aim of many of the melee combat changes is to further development. Okay, cool. This is just Marauder and Duelist archetypes. Um, the overall goal is to create greater diversity of melee skills. Cool. Alright, here we go. Early game melee combat feel. A number of changes have been made to melee feel. Okay. Change the feel of early combat. Um, more or less attack speed. Okay, yeah, so that's what they already showed that off, and Jonathan showed that off in that podcast. Shown in the gym as a percentage. Aggressive attacks are slower. Much deadlier slams. Many low-level weapons have had their attack speeds increased to bring them closer to the fastest speed of their item class. Okay, so pretty basic what we could have inferred there. I guess we'll have to see the patch notes to see what that's going to do. Luckily, that's today. Striking multiple targets. Swings with melee weapons could previously only hit a single target. So we already know that they're going to do that. But what are they doing with melee splash? The standard melee attack animation has changed. So now you can animation cancel. Which that's going to be cool. So early leveling is going to be really intense for racing as far as getting chaining melee abilities together. That'll be a pretty big deal. I'd say for leveling you'll have one to, or well, probably two skills that you'll level with from level 1 to like, probably till you get enough damage for one skill to clear efficiently. I'm actually curious when that like transition is going to be. But yeah, pretty cool so far. Skill rebalance. Pass damage and attack speed, area of effect. More to many melee skills, which I mean we've seen the area. Okay. Gym levels. The damage will grow. This is mostly to provide more damage growth for characters while leveling if they haven't found a powerful weapon. Different gyms have different relative strengths for added damage, so your skill choice may also be determined by how much you want to take advantage of the gym's damage compared to your other damage sources. So that's gonna be cool if, like, you take one skill but you're having rough luck, and so you take another skill that has a bit more damage so you can level a little easier. That'd be kind of cool if that ends up being a race dynamic. But so yeah, animation canceling and that's gonna be pretty cool. So okay, so support gyms, here we go. Multi-strike now provides a lower attack speed multiplier. Okay, that's interesting. Just over half that of the existing support. Ooh. That's so. Wonder. So we saw that the Berserker has crazy attack speed. I wonder if that's why. The previous iteration provided far too large an attack speed multiplier for a single gym, causing problems with performance, effects, animations, and balance. So I wonder if it's even going to be good to use multi-strike, because you can now interrupt a multi-strike attack between repeats. Okay, well that's what I was about to ask. You avoid a dangerous boss ability or end an ongoing attack sequence when all enemies have already been dealt with. My question is, if you can use multi-strike and you can cancel it, why use faster attacks? Unless, I mean, except for like travel skills. Like, there's never reason to use faster attacks now unless they're going to do something with it at some point. But really, faster attacks is just good for travel skills, and that's about it. So melee splash. as you can now hit multiple targets. Melee Splash can now create multiple splash effects. Ooh. Okay. That's pretty cool. So I wonder if you can use Melee Splash and then it creates a splash per target you hit. If each of those count as an individual hit, can you essentially use like Infernal Blow and stack 3 stacks from one swing? Or like if you hit 4 people, will each of them spread out the hit, and will you get each stack on all 4 of those targets? So that'd be pretty cool. Next we got Fortify here. They added damage to it, so the Fortify support now provides a more melee damage stat instead of increasing melee physical damage stat, though with a lower damage value. Okay. I wonder what the more is actually going to come out to. I guess we'll have to see the patch notes for that. But if we can just use that in every melee build, then that's a huge amount of defense, and that we don't have to use something else to keep it up. That'll be a huge buff. Like if that's enough more damage. Also, rather than being relegated to secondary and travel skills, though it won't outclass the damage of most powerful pure damage supports. I mean, if it's, hopefully it's at least around 30% more, something like that. I don't see it being 40 or 50 type, you know, like damage on full life or whatever, but as long as it's close to 30, that wouldn't be too bad. Okay, new support and skill gems. We're introducing a number of new support and skill gems, to which enhance or support slower attacks. Ooh, that's gonna be cool. I wonder if we're gonna get a good support gem for Earthquake now. I know they showed it off in the trailer, so that's why I'm wondering if that's gonna be a thing. So let's see. Pure physical damage playstyle, that'll be cool. I really want to try a bleed build at some point, so hopefully they do something for bleed. Marauder and Duelist Ascendancies. So we already looked at these, but it looks like they're just saying the Chieftain, Berserker, and Slayer. I guess they added the node to the Gladiator. Should be an amazing choice for fire damage attacks and a huge amount of life regeneration. And should be a competitive choice for a melee totem character. Berserker should be capable of some of the highest damage numbers in the game, though at a great cost. We've also condensed the recovery tools available to him to make them more efficient and let us spin. So yeah, we just saw that. So that, okay, cool. And then the Slayer reinforces his place as taking full advantage of Life Leech, while also being capable of massive damage against unique enemies. Okay, and that's one reason why I'm kind of curious about the Slayer. I kind of wanted them to do something with rare enemies as well, so that he had more of that single target thing, since they are buffing the life of rare enemies. I can't wait to have that extra damage though, to try to take on that, but because that's where he kind of loses that effect, but we'll see. Gladiator is receiving a new notable to support the Gladiator themed blood and sand skills, but isn't receiving any other major changes at this point. Champion is receiving some minor improvements, and the Juggernaut remains unchanged other than the damage and area buff to his unyielding passive. Okay, well that's pretty cool. I was afraid they might nerf the Juggernaut with what they're doing with accuracy. Other attack-based ascendancies won't be receiving any changes, so the Raider will be seeing some big changes in 3.8. Okay, passive tree changes, redesign positioning and passive wheels of just about everything melee on the passive tree, as well as some bow and wand clusters. There has been a particular focus on making critical strikes more viable for a larger selection of melee builds. now I'm pretty hyped hearing that because I plan on doing some crit stuff this league, a lot of crit stuff. There are many rewarding opportunities to specialize mechanics, to specialize in certain mechanics like area of effect, armor, evasion, impale, blind, and fortify. Accuracy, okay, here we go. Notable changes to accuracy calculation. We've increased the chance to hit cap to 100%. That's pretty huge. Now I wonder how much you're going to need. Because that was always exclusive to Resolute Technique, and a small number of items, mods, and ascendancies. This will provide a goal for attack characters that has a noticeable impact on combat, and will become a much more reasonable method of hitting enemies for attack characters without high dexterity. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's see, right here. You will need about 3,000 accuracy to always hit normal level 83 monsters. So, I guess that's, hopefully we'll be able to get there. We've also improved and normalized the accuracy rating on mods, on items, while reducing the amount of increased accuracy for passives and increasing their other offensive benefits. This is because these clusters would have trivialized reaching 3,000. Okay, that's what I was actually thinking when I saw that number. So that'll be interesting to see what the actual numbers turn out to be. Okay, let's see. As a result of the change, accuracy calculation monsters will have a higher chance to hit players as well. Ooh, now we need even more evasion, I guess. That'll be interesting. Dagger and staff base types. Okay, so dagger and staff inherently can't have any caster mods on them, previously creating a great attack dagger or staff was significantly more difficult than other weapons like claws and maces. Yeah, we get caster and attack-based staffs and daggers. That's pretty cool. Added damage from weapons and jewels. They already said they were lowering this. Okay, so they're going to have an easier way to get higher prefixes for elemental, and they're going to raise the amount on weapons. So that's pretty cool. On the other end, Abyssals were providing far more added damage to attacks than we were happy with, making them a far greater contributor to damage than your weapon. So they've lowered that to about 30% lower than before. Okay, that's pretty big for lightning jewels. But I mean, as long as they add about that much to weapons, that'll be pretty nice. That's a pretty juicy change. And let's see, we've changed weapon-specific modifiers on non-abyssal jewels to provide a general damage increase rather than specifically affecting physical damage. Also right here, at the same time, we've lowered life, mana, and energy shield available for abyss jewels. Made the highest tier harder to obtain. But they've also made the higher tiers of the weapon mods easier to obtain. That's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. General combat changes, animation canceling. I kind of talked about that before up there, but yeah. Within the first 20% of the attack or cast time, you can cancel it. Canceling an action in the first 20% will let you then immediately perform another skill, though there is a delay before you can cancel a skill again. If you can interrupt a skill with the same skill, you can't interrupt a skill with the same skill. Okay, canceling after the events of an action won't let you perform any actions until the first action would have completed, other than moving. This lets you move in short bursts between attacks or casts. Oh, Okay, so that's a little bit different. Because I was thinking you could, like, cut off the first or the end with, say, another skill. I thought that's kind of how they showed it off. So I wonder if that's exactly right. Kind of curious. We'll have to check that out and actually play with it. Enemy combat. There has been a large number of changes to enemies through Act 1. So, I mean, we've already seen these. They showed it off in a video. There's a lot of counterplay to the enemies, and the main thing is they're buffing a lot of it, which is going to be awesome. I've wanted harder enemies for so long. This is great. I love bestiary when running into some of those beasts. And hearing that some of those beasts were unkillable almost. So, I mean, they got to fix that, obviously. But that, yeah, that's amazing. I can't wait. This is going to be good. Skill changes. Travel skills. So, they've kind of already shown these off. So, now you got an instant one, and you can get one real early. And then all of them are instant now. And so that'll be cool to see. Kind of curious to see the other new ones that they didn't get to show off. So defensive skills, we got a whole post about that. Molten Shell and Immortal Call, and then Iron Skin. So they've got a full article there. It's I've actually meant to cover these, but kind of I guess I'll just talk about them here. Molten Shell and Immortal Call. Now you can use them. One's based on like. Oh, I think both of them are based on the armor here. I might as well just go to this. Let's go. Molten Shell now grants armor while active and damage barrier that absorbs 75% of damage. The maximum damage that can be absorbed is based on 20% of your total armor. And then Immortal Call does something similar to that, which it consumes 5 endurance charges, up to 5 endurance charges to increase the duration, and additional less physical damage taken, and it can mitigate 35% of physical damage taken and 34% of elemental damage taken. So that's going to be cool that it actually is good for elemental reduction. Though I'm kind of curious now to see what people are going to do for different builds that really relied on that, because porcupines are going to be a problem now. So that's kind of interesting. Steel Skin, this is the earlier one. And absorbs 70%, and I think this is about, it has a maximum amount of damage that it can be absorbed, which increases as the gem levels. Okay, so that's how that one goes. Okay, cool. So anyway, let's go back. Okay, changes to powerful skills. Winter Orb, seen that coming. Stormbrand, seen that coming. Bane and Soul Rend. So if they're doing Bane and Soul Rend, are they doing Essence Drain Contagion? Too powerful for clearing through content without heavy investment. Well, I mean, Essence Drain Contagion is kind of the same way now, just saying. I wonder why just those two. And two, it's confirmed that Essence Drain Contagion will work on just triggering the stuff in Legion. So I'm really surprised that didn't get nerfed. Warlord's Mark now only applies its leech bonus to attacks. That... Well, yeah, it easily solved the mana problem for casters with minimal investment. And after deliberating, we've decided that solving mana problems for spellcasters should require more thought and a greater opportunity cost. So, what about the Life Leech? I mean, that was one of the reasons why I used Trickster, because I could just throw a Warlord's Mark ring on, and then it gave me a lot more survivability because of the Life Leech for my Stormcall build. So I'm guessing it's just all Leech, just says it's Leech bonus to attacks. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, because we don't have any spell Life Leech. I mean, at this point, they're like, if you're playing spells, do Energy Shield. I don't know. I'll have to kind of think about that one. Herald of Agony. Oh, well, yeah, okay. This one kind of... Herald of Agony is insane. It's got so much damage, really. I mean, it's slow playstyle, but it's got way crazy damage. Hopefully it's not nerfed too much, though. But, because, I mean, it kind of would be cool to still use all the different classes with it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I like the skill. I hope it's not nerfed too bad. Because it doesn't just clear insane at the same time. So that's, yeah. Okay, what do we got here? Passive tree changes. Okay, the occultist. So they moved that out. I wonder if they're replacing the energy shield once. Yeah, energy shield to be interrupted if recovery has started recently. Wonder if they're replacing that with anything. I mean, we saw that it has 50% less leech effect and 50% less actual regen when it starts. So I wonder if that's going to be enough to really warrant using it. I guess if you are leeching and regening at the same time, then it's fine. But Trickster's Ghost Dance charges now generate at a slower rate. So I guess we'll just have to see what the slower rate for that is. But they're pretty strong. I mean, that shouldn't be too bad unless they really nerf the rate. And Elementalist Beacon of Ruin notable has been changed. No longer granting proliferation. Ouch. And with a lower value of minimal shock. Ouch. The shock benefit provides too much power in combination with its increasing shock effect. Okay, I guess, but there goes, what's his name? Arc build. Inky? That's pretty much, his was built around the shock, I believe. Regardless of whether it was being taken full advantage of, we'll be replacing or changing this and other sources of proliferation in the future. So, ouch, that's a pretty big hit. Proliferate was one of the reasons why I would take that for burn. Huh. Or ignite, rather. That's pretty brutal. I mean, I guess Elementals is now Golem, and if you can fix proliferation problems and still have enough damage, then I guess you could still use Elementalist, but ouch. I wonder what I would use it for right now. I mean, if Stormbrand and, what is it, the Winter Orb get nerfed too bad, then I don't know. Elementalist probably going to be, well, not hardly used at all. This league, I'm betting. Blood Magic and Mortal Conviction. Okay, so Mortal Conviction is the one after it. Restricts you to only one non-banner aura skill, but removes the reservation cost. So you just get it for free? That's pretty big. Now I think most supports use that though. I think. You're really a support player, so I don't know. But I'm wanting to say supports use it. Could be wrong. I'm wanting to remember traveling, that looking at a tree, they traveled all the way around. Huh. This will let you take Blood Magic and an aura without compromising available life, which that's cool. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be using Blood Magic on a couple of builds I've already planned, so that's just a buff. This will mean builds that use Blood Magic and Mortal Conviction to reserve a large number of auras while being protected by Energy Shield will be restricted to one aura. We may return this mechanic in the future on more specialized sources than the passive tree. Okay. Well, I wonder how bad that affects supports. Feels pretty ripped. Nodes behind keystones removed. We've removed the powerful passive clusters behind many keystones. These passives were being used to add additional power to keystone in a way that worked well on the passive tree, but unique items were unable to receive the same power without characters being able to double up. Okay. Well, I wonder if that was mind over matter. Huh. Because they showed a picture there where mind over matter would be, and there was nothing behind it. Ouch. I wonder if that's a rip to mind over matter. I guess we'll have to see. Energy shield on the passive tree. We've made a number of changes to bonuses to energy shield on the passive tree. The value of increases to energy shield on various passive clusters have been lowered, with some flat energy shield available early in the passive tree. Okay, so I guess that'd be kind of cool to level as an energy shield character. I've kind of been wanting to do that instead of holding off to a certain point. It'd be cool to just do it from the get-go. Indirect changes to natural instinct from passive tree changes. Critical multiplier passives near the scion starting at area provided far too much power through the unnatural instinct. They have been changed to accuracy passives. Ooh, ouch. Well, rip unnatural instinct. Let's see. Defense for equipment. Okay. Oh, dense fossils with delve. You don't craft locally item quality modifiers on boots, gloves, and helms. Ouch. So that's a pretty big nerf to dense fossils and ES. I mean, I'd have to plug that in, but I wonder what that brings it down to, like the max ES people can get now. That's kind of interesting. I mean, ES is still going to be in a fine place. It's not really a super nerf to it, but it's definitely going to be harder for people to get decent gear quickly. So, powerful unique item rarity. Certain very powerful unique items will be harder to obtain. Headhunter? Ooh, yes. Eternity Shroud and Solstice. Ooh, rip on the last two. But I mean, the Shroud is actually really good. So, Solstice, I mean, I guess it's actually really strong for what builds would use it, but kind of do like to see more Chase Uniques coming in. Because, yeah, Chase Uniques are pretty legit. Okay, let's see. New skill enhancements. Won't initially include enhancements for the new skills. Enchantments. So they won't be included for the new skills. We're planning to release them shortly after. Okay, so that'd be kind of cool. They're gonna take time to have good ones. Leech. We hope to simplify and rework the leech system for 3.7. The more we developed our new system, the more we realized that it was such an extreme change that it would disorient too many players and potentially require more balance and iterations than we were comfortable with. Okay, so they're going to change it in 4.0 looks like. Man, that's going to be a huge patch. I cannot wait for it. Yeah, cool. Bleeding and other attack elements. Guess they're not making that. Well, there went that. I think I've said that twice during this. There are many changes that affect bleeding elements with attacks don't have a natural growth in power during progression that we're happy with and provide enough interesting interactions. Oh, okay, so I guess it's for leveling stuff. Okay, that'll be cool. So, yeah, so because I guess they're adding flat physical stuff, so that should buff bleed a little bit, or even because that's also kind of a poison buff too. So, because I kind of wanted to do Viper Strike at some point. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Viper Strike Berserker with all that attack speed. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But anyway, that's it for this manifesto. Patch notes should be out here in a little bit, and I'll probably go over those and put out a new video. I'll probably stream those though, just going over the initial one. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.